Right. I received a question about one of the Cronk exercises, and um, when I was going through the appendices, I couldn't quite tell where they were coming up with their answer based on their data output. And so if you refer to Appendix G, page 217, their output looks a little different than when I actually run it. So the correct answer they have on page 217, what percentage of participants are married? And so they're looking for 30.4%. But then what percentage of participants are both married and male? And so I couldn't find 21.7% anywhere. And when I look at their data output, when I look at the married men column, and then percent within marital, I see 71.4%. So I was a little like thrown off by that, and I think some of you were too. So what I did is I went back into the exercise or the practice exercise. So on page 31, and I'm going to show my screen here. There we go. And I just created a data set. And so to make things simple for this particular exercise, I just added sex. And so the values, I added 1 for male, 2 for female. I didn't add anything for age because I'm just focusing on marital status. For marital, I have 1 is single, 2 is married, and 3 is divorced. And so again, as you're following through those exercises, you could put 1 for your value and label that single. And then you'll be able to add that. I'm making sure that the measure is nominal, okay, for both of these. And then I can go into the data view. Now I've already entered in the data. So they're asking you to enter in the data from Appendix B. And so I just went through the columns, right, on Appendix B, 1 for male, 2 for female, and I just entered those numbers in those columns. I then went over to marital and just added 1 if they were single, 2 if they were married, and 3 if they were divorced. And I just went all the way through. Now, I did simply, in my variable view, I did simply change these decimals to 0. We can probably set the decimal to 1. And then that's our data. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to go to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and then we can go down to crosstabs. So what I ended up doing is we are looking at row and column. So I just put sex in the row and marital column. And then I clicked on cells. And I think this is where some people were having issues. So we have row, column, and total. So let's make sure that we have our row, our column, and make sure total is also selected. Okay, then we can hit continue, and then okay. And then we get our crosstabs. Now, just to be safe, I'm going to stop sharing and reshare. So now, when some of you who put 71.4% were married men, okay, what we're looking for here is the percent total. And so, okay, we have male here. right? So the percent total of married men is 21.7. And so that's the correct answer. That's in the key. So again, if you didn't select the total box in crosstabs, you likely won't see these total numbers here. So hopefully that helps clarify. Again, I really like these Cronk exercises because it should tell you or it should walk through step by step. And you should, if you didn't get the right answer, right? Yes, is it a typo? I kind of thought it was a typo when I first looked at it. But then when I had time to go back and re-enter the data and follow the steps myself, I was able to recognize, oh, okay, um, maybe their output, they didn't necessarily, I think they forgot to put in their total in the output. But that's where they got their answer. So hopefully that helps clarify some things.